me start with witches slash Satanists. I mean, those people are worshiping power. They think they are trying to become one with nature, but the power they are trying to tap is the power of the devil. And I know a lot of these people, even some Satanists, will say, we don't believe in the devil except as an archetype, as a symbol. But they're whistling in the dark. They're making a grave mistake that can cost them their souls. Because, it doesn't matter what you think you believe. The truth with a capital T is out there, and Yeshua is the way, the truth, and the life. And if you reject him, as most witches and Satanists do, then your fate is not good. It's not that God is this big meanie in the sky who's going to send you to hell. It's your decision to ignore Christ or to mock Christ, whatever you want to call it. That is the decision that's going to cost you an eternity in a very dark place. And you don't want to do that. And essentially I would share that same message. I mean, Masons, again, a lot of Masons are Christians. But the problem is, like Elijah said to the prophets of Baal in 1 Kings 18, how long halt ye between two opinions? If Baal is God, serve him. But if the Lord is God, serve him. The Mason, he might be the nicest person you might imagine, but he's knelt at the altar of Baal. He may have one knee on the altar of Christ and one knee on the altar of Baal, and these two things are going to drift apart. And in my experience, I've been ministering to Freemasons since 1988, and it's very hard for a Christian Mason to keep his testimony strong. It's very hard because the Masonic Lodge will just suck all the spiritual fire off of you. So you need to get out of it because the devil is after you. And even though it might seem good at the time, there's a way to seem as right unto a man, but the end thereof is death. And I'd say almost the same thing to the Mormons. Except the problem is with the Mormons, you're totally worshiping a false God. You're totally worshiping a false Jesus. You're following a plan of salvation, which is absolutely false. And you're in a very dark, Mormonism is honestly darker than Masonry, in my humble opinion. So if you're in the Mormon church, you probably don't feel that evil. But the men at the top of the Mormon church are devil worshipers. And that spiritual power is percolating downward into you and into your family because of the way headship and authority works in the world. So again, you need to get out of the Mormon church. You need to find a good Christian church that really believes in the Bible. And, again, renounce it. Renounce your baptism. And if you've been to the temple, renounce your temple vows. And then go and get baptized by a Christian pastor, and you'll be hopefully on your way. But all three of those paths ultimately will end in the same place, even though the one seemed much darker than the other two. But the devil disguises himself as an angel of light, Paul tells us, so that he can deceive us. So that's what I would say. Trust in Yeshua, Jesus Christ. Don't trust in Joseph Smith. Don't trust in the false Christ of Masonry, who was called Hiram Beef. And certainly don't trust in Satan.